So we read verse 49 of Sri Vilapa Kusumanjali. Oh, Kusumanjali, girl whose body shines like saffron, when will I carefully serve you the many kinds of remnants left by Krishna, that are like an elixir of the quintessence of nectar, mixed with other eatables and drinks. As you sit down, surrounded by Lalita and other girlfriends. Explanations. In a transcendental vision, Sri Raghunathi Swamini's sweet Bhojana Leela, eating pastimes. Tulasi has brought Shyam's Adharamrita, lip nectar or fruit remnants. Even a fiber of Madha Mohan's Adharamrita is Sukriti Lavya Pila Lava, only attainable by a lot of pious merit. Krishna's food remnants are called Phela, and anyone who gets even a fiber of it is very lucky. These remnants are not available through ordinary luck. Only a person who has gotten Krishna's full mercy gets it. The word Sukriti here means merit, which is attained by Krishna's personal mercy. A person who gets this Phela is greatly fortunate. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 16. This prasad is relishable according to one's amount of love for Krishna.
Why not you translating?
I'm sorry, Gurudev. Today I'm traveling in train.
From there.
I cannot speak here very cloudy now in train. I'm very sorry, Gurudev, and all.
So you translate, what you do?
I will be like this and translate for them.
I read this sentence again.
Wait. Again you have to read translation.
This prasad is relishable according to one's amount.
How she would translate.
This prasad is relishable according to one's amount of love for Krishna. Radharani loves Krishna the most, and therefore she also relishes his prasad to the utmost. O Saki, this Madan Mohan increases the yearning of my tongue. Govinda Lilamrita. This Madan Mohan increases the yearning of my tongue. How Srimati relishes this nectar is best understood from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela chapter 16, which describes how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Srimati Radhika's mood relishes Lord Jagannath's Gopal Vallabha Prasad at Jagannath Puri. Tasting these dishes that were millions of times more relishable than nectar, the Lord became astonished. He had goose pimples of ecstasy all over his body, and tears of love flowed from his eyes. He thought to himself, where has such a delicious food come from? Krishna's lip nectar is infused in it. Mahaprabhu relished a little of this food and then told Govinda to tie the rest in the end of his dhoti and took it along. The whole day, Mahaprabhu was deeply absorbed in Krishna's Adaramrita. When the evening came, one star-like devotee after the other came to surround the golden Gora moon, and the stream of Krishna Katha took its rise. On the Lord's indication, Govinda began to distribute the prasad that he kept in his robe to everyone present. The Lord then began to explain the glories of the prasad. The Lord said, these ingredients, like sugar cane, camphor, black pepper, cardamom, cloves, ghee, spices, and licorice are all material. Everyone has tasted them before. But now, these dishes have an extraordinary taste and fragrance. Everyone should taste it and experience the difference. What to speak of the taste? Even the fragrance is maddening and makes one forget all other sweetnesses but its own. The nectar of Krishna's lips have touched it and has infused the qualities of these lips in the food. The attributes of Krishna's lips are greatly intoxicating, and their extraordinary fragrance and taste make one forget all other experiences.
So there, Radhe, there are two really important things in this Antya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, the 16, where Mahaprabhu is tasting the prasadam. And the first thing is that since he is in the mood of Radha, Radha who loves Mohan more than any other, he can taste it fully. He can taste it most strongly. So it's confirming what was said earlier, that the pleasure we take from the prasad, the pleasure we take from Krishna in our lives, depends on the love that we give him. There's no independent criterion. We decide. If we love him a little, then the mercy we get from him is a little. And if we love him with all our heart, then the mercy we get from him is endless. And the second important thing about this Antya Lila 16 is that all through it, Mahaprabhu is turning to his disciples and teaching them this, saying that you can taste this prasad. The prasad is for the devotees. It's not reserved only for the brahmacharis or other demigods. It's for all devotees. So it's given to everyone. And like I said, given to everyone corresponding to how much love we give.
उनके बेटा को स्कूल छोड़ना है, उनके पीछे छोड़ा जाने 10 मिनट में आ जाओ, जैसे छोड़ के Huh? अरे नहीं आज तुरंत आओ यार स्कूल छोड़ के चले.
Just as Sri Radhika secretly relishes the nectar of Krishna's lips with her sakis, Mahaprabhu relishes this nectar in secret with Sri Swarup Damodar and Sri Ramananda Rai. O hero, listen to the nature of your lips. They agitate the body and mind, increase lusty desires, and destroy all other sentiments like joy and sorrow. They make one forget all other flavors. They control the whole world and destroy saintly qualities such as shyness, religiousness, and patience. They madden the minds of the women, attract the tongue, and turn all situations upside down. This may be the work of women, but I am ashamed to say that your lips are so bold that they even attract your flute, which is male. They make it drink as much nectar as they like and make it forget all other flavors. What to speak of conscious beings? They make even unconscious beings conscious. Your lips are great magicians. Your flute is just a dry piece of wood, but your lips give it a mind and senses and make it drink themselves. This flute is a bold male who drinks the lips of another male, telling the gopis, "Oh, gopis, listen. Drink your property by force if you think you can." Then the flute angrily told me, "Give up your shame, fear, and religion, and come to drink the nectar of Krishna's lips." On that condition, I shall give them up. If you don't give up your attachments to virtue, though, I will keep on drinking it forevermore.
Wow.
I'm a little afraid of you, gopis, for you may have the power to compete with me, but all others I consider to be no more than blades of grass. Oh, listen to the manners of these lips and other injustices. Everything that is touched by these lips, like food and drinks, becomes just like nectar and is called Krishna Felal.
Water coming from the Sulava.
Even the Devatas cannot get one drop of this Felal. Who can fathom the pride of this Felal? By performing pious activities for many births, one becomes known as a virtuous man. And such a person may get a fiber of this Felal. Chaitanya Charitamrita.
We might think it's very strange that we talk so much about Krishna's mouth, about his lips. Yes, wherein in other religious practices, the mercy of God comes through words and ideas. And like it says here in the verse, and we carry out our religious practice through shame and fear and religion. But what's so special about this practice, this bhakti yoga practice, is that the mercy of Krishna, the mercy of God, comes as taste. And it's not only taste, it's nectar, which is the most condensed, concentrated, sweet, super sweet juice. So our love for Krishna is rewarded with this most concentrated taste that comes directly from Krishna. And it's only by giving up our shame, giving up religious doctrines and rules, that we can open our hearts to love fully Krishna through our service to Radharani. And then we receive the mercy of Krishna, which is an increased flavor. We can relish ourselves, the world, more. The more we love through service to Radharani, the more we relish. The more we are able to taste this condensed nectar of of life. Shri.
Fortunate Tulasi makes Bhava Mai and her Sakhis relish Krishna's lip nectar. The devotees will be consoled by the remembrance of these pastimes. The all-enchanting nature of Radhika's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes cause the experience of sweetness, and this takes the consciousness forwards. The forms, qualities, and pastimes of the beloved deity then become the quintessence of a devotee's life. Absorbed in experiencing Shyamasundara's sweetness, Sri Leela Shuka told him, "O Lord, you are my giver of love, the fulfiller of my desires, the bestower of devotional knowledge, and the treasure of my heart. You and no one else are my life and my fate." To this Sri Krishna said, "Very well, Leela Shuka, very well. I have become very pleased with your loyalty to me. My darshan will never be in vain for you. Please pray for a boon to me." Then Leela Shuka prayed for the following boon. May our words be increased by your sweetness. May you increase the stream of your thoughts, so that we will be able to remember the sweetness of your naughty adolescence. Krishna Karnamrita 105. The words of the Acharyas are the support for the weak devotees. They will remove their bodily consciousness and bring them a deep spiritual consciousness, in which they can relish the sweetness of Sri, Sri, Radha and Krishna.
So what is the difference between tasting and relishing? Tasting is in material consciousness and relishing is in spiritual consciousness. So when we see the word relishing, which is the Sanskrit word asvadya, it means tasting with the soul, tasting from the spiritual consciousness, tasting from the heart. Not just the external flavor like we would have in material consciousness, something that comes and goes. We put the piece of chocolate on the tongue and there's a taste of chocolate, and we take it away and it goes away. And once we eat up the chocolate, the taste is gone. But relishing from the soul never leaves. Once we have tasted this nectar, it's always there. And so it has only to increase. This is what relishing means. Shirali.
Tulasi says, "Oh, Kusumanjali, I will serve you different kinds of nectarian food and drinks while you assemble with your girlfriends to taste the nectar of Krishna's lips. Swamini's bodily luster now resembles fresh kunkuma from Kashmir, touched with some sandal paste. It's a reddish glow that comes out from within her, showing her heart's passion for Krishna. Passion is symbolized by red color. That is why Tulasi calls her Kusumanjali here. In each dish, Swamini tastes the nectar of Krishna's lips. When Swamini tastes Krishna's nectarian food remnants, it is as if she touches his lips directly. Because the food
Prasad we are taking is touching to lips directly.
What do you say, Gurudev?
Prasad we are taking is also taking through the lips. So we are touching flower. What is that? One word in the
Fela
Vela is a flower of Krishna through the prasad. So we touch the lips of Krishna like a flying kiss.
When Swamini tastes Krishna's nectarian food remnants, it is as she touches his lips directly. Because
Splendid.
The taste that we receive comes at the amount of love we give. Radha gives the most love of all. So the taste that she receives is the greatest, as though she were taking it directly from the mouth of Krishna.
because the food has taken all their qualities. The maidservants feed Krishna Premonmadini, she who is mad with love for Krishna. Premonmadini Radhika, who remembers so many pastimes she had with Krishna at that time. She closes her eyes half when she is immersed in such sweet remembrance. It is as if she's drifting off somewhere else. The kinkaris make her relish according to her feelings. Lalita and the Sakis also help her to enter the Shyama ocean by joking with her about her divine pastimes with Krishna. Nagara Krishna makes himself useful by becoming the subject of these emotional talks. What more can he attain than this? No words can express how sweet, fulgent, and beautiful Srimati Radhika is. She makes even Krishna's life useful. That's why Krishna became greedy for her mood. And that's why he came in the golden form of Gora. To float in this rasa himself. And to make the whole world float in it concomitantly.
There's all the secret of Chaitanya, right in one line. Krishna wants to float in this pleasure, and he wants all the devotees to float in that nectar the same way. This is why he appears.
I really like the sentence, she makes even Krishna's life useful. Sri Radhika does not relish the eatables. She relishes the nectar of Krishna's lips, while her mind is absorbed in remembering her extraordinary pastimes with him. In the Kunja pastime, she directly relishes this lip nectar. How many hundreds of loving moods doesn't she express through her eyes and her face then? Tulasi carefully feeds Swamini, Yatnath, because she knows that she experiences Shyama Sundar's presence in the dishes. She feeds Swamini according to the pastime flavors. She makes her relish. Swamini is mad with love for Krishna. Is it so easy to serve her? When Lord Chaitanya, who was greedy after the ecstatic love of Sri Krishna, relishes this pastime in the Gambhira, he's there at Swarup Damodar's and Ramananda Rai's faces and said, "Where have you brought me? How many wonderful feelings he expressed through his face and his eyes."
पूरी तो अभी बना दो, वो भी लाना पड़ेगा।
Swarup and Ramarai understood the Lord's mind and helped him to relish these pastimes. Swarup Damodar sang songs of Vidya Pati and from Gita Govinda that soothed the Lord's ears. Tulasya understands Swamini's mind completely, and she carefully feeds her accordingly. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami has mercifully left the remnants of these transcendental revelations on paper for the practicing devotee of today. Alas, whatever is understandable, having received the mercy of such a great Acharya, I do not understand, and whatever can now be locked within the heart, I do not lock within my heart. Sri Raghunath Das has offered himself to Swamini's feet. Sri Radhika, who is mad with love for Krishna, has now relished the nectar of Krishna's lips. Suddenly the vision vanishes and Sri Raghunath pitifully prays, "Oh Kusumanjali, oh Gaurangi, oh daughter of Rishabhanu, how wonderfully you are sitting in your wonderful jewel temple, surrounded by your girlfriends like Lalita, looking at the nectar that emanates from Krishna's lips. I will bring the Mahaprasad on jeweled plates while everyone's mind is reeling of ecstasy." When can I feed you and your sakis and fill my eyes with your sweet vision? End of verse 49. Should we start the next one? Would you like to give some explanation or should we read further?
Just a one comment, my dear, if you want.
Okay.
Just a little earlier, you read Srila Raghunathas Goswami has mercifully left the remnants of his transcendental revelations on paper for the practicing devotee of today. So this book, this prayer, Vilapa Kusumanjali, is the food remnants from Raghunathas. And just like the food remnants of Radhika on the lips of Krishna, the more we have love for Krishna through service to Radharani, the more this book will give us happiness.
So, so Mandiris are taking not only Krishna lives reverence, they are taking the prasadam of Krishna and Radhika's after death. Both of them.
Hmm.
It's even the higher taste.
This is more hard. Love of Radhika. Love of Krishna. Yeah.
We could also see that the kinkari makes Radhika relish. The kinkaris makes Radhika relish according to her feelings. So this is the art of the kinkaris. They are able to let Radhika relish so many leelas with their service. This is the highest service we can do. Because without this expertise of the kinkaris, she cannot relish this.
Yeah.
Yep, that's just- Start verse 50.
Yeah.
So we start with verse 50. Oh, Paralakshi, restless-eyed girls, when will the time come when I can lovingly offer you sweet drinking water, scented with fresh roses and camphor, for flushing your mouth, along with a twig for brushing your teeth? During deep transcendental visions, Sri Raghunath relishes the sweetness of devotional service as if he is directly with Swamini. And when the revelation disappears, he laments by remembering the pastimes he had attained. How severely the fire of the remembrance of his lost joy burns. The remembrance of this joy increases the severity of his suffering. And then he swims in an ocean of bliss once more, as another transcendental revelation comes to him. In this way, the stream of the devotee's life flows on, like a succession of the light of union and the darkness of separation.
60.
Sri Radhika and her Sakhis have relished the nectar of Krishna's lips, the remnants of his food. And now Tulasi serves drinking water sweetened with the flavor of roses and camphor. Srimati's eyes are restless also then. She doesn't know whether she tastes the nectar of Sri Krishna's lips or whether she eats the remnants of his food. When she meets Krishna, she relishes rasolas. And
Rasolas. Bhavolas and rasolas. There are two words. Bhavolas. This is rasolas.
Rasolas is union and Tavolas is separation.
Feeling. Feeling is bhav. And rasa means their rasa, exchange of rasa, of feeling. Going on, they rasolas and giving to bhavolas. giving us to live in this world.
When she meets Krishna, she realizes rasalas. And when she is separated from him, she tastes bhavalas. She feels a deeper bliss when she is separated from Krishna than when she is together with him. Sri Rupa Goswami writes, the pain of separation doubles during the revelation that comes from Anurag. And in this manifestation, one feels a festival of bliss that is covered, coveted by all. Therefore, when Swaminis Viyogini separated, she is also Samyogini, united. She is always Krishnamayi, absorbed in Krishna. When he stares at me from the corner of his ruddy eyes, he throws out a fish hook that pulls at my heart.
Yeah. Again.
When he stares at me from the corners of his ruddy eyes, he throws out a fish hook that pulls at my heart. There is no way to fathom the joy and or distress she feels from this pulling. Pure transcendental sweetness can be relished when it is pressed out by feelings of separation. Gradually and shockwise, Shyam's crystallized sound, touch, form, taste, and smell can be relished then. Slowly and with interruptions, Swamini relishes this. As Swamini meditates like that, it is as if Shyam appears before her concretely. This is why she is called Taralakshi, or fickle-eyed girl in this verse. The sweetness of clearly seeing Krishna enlivens the eyes. Even endlessly sweet Shyamasundar is fully subdued when he sees the natural sweetness of Radhika's glances. All glories to Radha's supremely victorious sidelong glance, which its sweetness makes the beauty of the most splendid of blue lotus flowers wilt, and which, with its playfulness, conquers even Madhu's enemy Krishna, who was himself garlanded by the goddess of victory with mysterious in the three worlds. The Sakis and Manjaris know everything. Seeing the beauty of Taralakshi's eyes, they joke with her as they were doing when she first fell in love with Krishna. Saki Radhe, who has stolen your heart? Tell us the truth. You are not so eager anymore as before to read books or to teach your parrots eloquent verses. We never hear you gossiping or joking with your friends anymore. How beautifully you are now playing your veena. Where has all this gone now? You're going in and out of your house 100 times in half an hour.
Oh, yeah.
You are going in and out of your house 100 times in half an hour. She's restless. Your mind is very agitated. And you breathe deeply as you gaze at the Kadamba forest. Right? How have you become like this? You're not even afraid of your wicked superiors. Have you become possessed by a ghost or so? You don't stop the edge of your sari from constantly moving in a restless way, betraying your own restless mood. You may sit down, but then you become startled and get up again, making your ornaments fall off in the shock. You are an adolescent girl, a princess, and you're married as well. I don't understand which desire is increasing your anxiety. When I study your behavior, I think that you're stretching your hand out to the moon. You're trying to achieve the impossible. Kandidasa sings, I think you have fallen into Kaliya's, Krishna's trap. When the Sakis see the beauty of Tara Lakshi's restless eyes, they joke in so many ways, saying, Oh, Saki, it seems as if Vanamali, Krishna who bears a garland of forest flowers, has stolen the jewel of your mind. After Balamai Radhika and her friends have relished the nectar of Krishna's lips, Tulasi brings drinking water. scented with camphor and fresh roses, with which they can flush their mouths. Tulasi's pure love gives the water an extra flavor. The manjaris are love personified. What to speak of the kinkaris? The whole of Rajadam is the kingdom of love. Therefore, Thakur Bilvamangala spoke to the Lord as follows. O Krishna, your lotus feet can only be conquered with love. Otherwise, how could you blissfully roll around on the muddy courtyards, the cowherders, whereas you hesitate even to look for a moment at the pure and clean altars, the brahmanas? How can you shout out at the mooing cows and bulls of Vrindavan, running after them, while you remain silent towards the sages that pronounce Samaveda mantras in the Tapovan? And how can you become the humble servant of the young girls of Gokula, praying to them to place their feet on your head, whereas you remain deaf to the anxious prayers of the self-controlled saints who pray to you to become their master? Oh Krishna, from all this I can understand that only the pure love of Raj can capture your lotus feet. After taking prasad, Srimati and her girlfriends get up to wash their hands and mouths. The kinkaris have arranged for scented water for washing the hands, a lota, a stool, a spittoon, quips for brushing the teeth, and scented clay for washing the hands. Fortunate Tulasi can wash Swamini's hands while another kinkari pours the water. The mental service of the sadhaka devotee will become very nice when they hear and chant the descriptions of these expert service of the acharyas. The devotee should merge his own thoughts into the thoughts of the acharyas when he meditates on his devotional service. When the transcendental vision vanishes, Raghunath Das prays as follows for devotional service. O restless eyes, Sri Radhike, I pray to you, let me fill up a jug with nicely scented water and blissfully make you drink this water after eating. Then I will help you to flush your mouth with camphor-scented water. Place a twig for brushing your teeth in your lotus-like hands and serve you mouth water again. After enjoying your pastimes of eating, you will be very satisfied and give me a reward in the form of your food remnants. I will stay by your lotus feet and serve you in so many ways. Das Goswami anxiously cries when he prays like this. End of verse 50.
Last paragraph again.
O restless Aichri Radhike, I pray to you.
100 times she go up. So restless.
Should I read this again about 100 times? Let me fill up a jug with nicely scented water and blissfully make you drink this water after eating. Then I will help you to flush your mouth with camphor-scented water. Place a twig for brushing your teeth in your lotus-like hands and serve you mouth water again. After enjoying your pastimes of eating, you will be satisfied and give me a reward in the form of your food remnants. I will stay by your lotus feet and serve you in so many ways. Das Goswami anxiously cries when he prays like this.
Yeah. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.